Okay, everybody. Just doing a quick review of part of the longevity diet book by Dr. Longo. I've read about half of it, and I wanted to kind of introduce you to it if you haven't seen my other videos on this. And I just want to say welcome. And there is chat box if you happen to be swinging by. If not, if the video comes out, I will post it again. Now, I don't always have time to review it right away, and sometimes I review it and I realize the audio did not come out that good, and that's because when you're live streaming, especially with wireless connections, there can be issues. The last one had a lot of feedback in it, so I decided to just take it out. It was just not that great. So, what is the fasting mimicking diet? First of all, Dr. Longo, who is a professor and has been working for 30 years on how to live longer in the lab, studying on yeast and mice and humans, studying. He puts in his book the 5 pillars or the 5 ways that he has been researching this, or others have been researching too with him. He's done a lot of scholarly articles on how to live longer, or what makes certain people live longer. But one of the things he does mention at the beginning of the book is, he says, if you've got a health problem, if you're pregnant, it is not advisable to do the fasting mimicking diet, which is the longevity diet. Now, one of the first things that he says is follow a pescatarian diet. Now, what's a pescatarian diet? Well, I can jump over and show you, but he says he wants you to be almost 100% plant-based. Now, this is for people 65 and under. If you're over 65, he recommends dairy and eggs with your diet. But he wants I'll just go over to pescatarian so you can see. But he says he wants it mostly vegetarian or vegan, yeah. So here's a big picture. Pescatarian. There's a whole thing here on it, and he said almost 100%. He says, let me see what it says here. I've got the book in front of me, actually. It says, follow a pescatarian diet. Aim for a diet that's close to 100% plant and fish-based, limiting fish consumption to 2 to 3 portions a week, and avoid fish. And then he says, consume low but sufficient proteins. Now, he outlines, and the link should be below, on how many grams of protein per pound of body weight. And he said if you weigh about 130, it comes to about 40 to 47 grams of protein a day. And then he goes on to say that you should eat twice a day plus a snack, and he recommends eating breakfast. Now, with older people, this is 65 and older, and he is a gerontology doctor. He's saying that older people prone to weight loss should stick to 3 meals a day. So if you have the book, you get the book, it'll give you more details. I'm just giving you a summary of what I've read so far. Now, there's more to this. He also suggested occasional fasting and observing time-restricted eating. And what is that? Well, he was saying in here that some of these people ate 12 hours a day. Now, if you've got diabetes, he says in here, he warns that if you have diabetes, he lists some things that if you have, not to do it, because if you're on certain types of medication, or if you've got kidney disease, I guess he put in there, and some other things, you got to ask your doctor because it could be dangerous because it has something to do with your hormones and insulin. So that's what you need to do. Check with your doctor or your dietitian, a registered dietitian. And the time restricted eating, like he was saying that some of these people eat only 12 hours during the day. So there's a lot on time restricted eating. Here's a beginner's guide. And it could help you eat less. In other words, if you only eat 12 hours during this one said a 10-hour window. He was saying a 12-hour window. A lot of people that were like centenarians, they lived to be 100 or older. They only ate 12 hours a day. They say that people that eat in these eating windows tend to eat less. Okay, the other thing is what he wants you to do is periodic prolonged fasting. Periodic prolonged fasting. Now, he says something about, they just did, actually, this is his website right here, the Prolon. He has some supplements, not supplements, he's got like special food that you can buy prepackaged so you don't have to cook. But he's got recipes in the back. You don't have to buy this stuff. But this talks about the fasting mimicking diet and the prolonged fasting. He calls, let's go look at his website real quick. So he's got some people here talking about it. And get the benefits of a 5-day fast while enjoying food. Triggers stem cell-based regeneration and autophagy, that is the cleanup of aging and damaged cells, and promote stem cell-based renewal. Metabolic health, maintain healthy levels of blood glucose, cholesterol, and blood pressure, as well as markers of inflammation for overall wellness. So it's supposed to help, especially he had a section in there about autoimmune illnesses. This link should be below because I'm doing a retake. The other audio did not come out right. If you want to put a comment in the box, I will tell you that well, I've got like a delay in seeing the message, and also I'm closing the window and then reopening it. But I put hi in the box. But if I open the window and I see something and you have a question, I might read it out. Okay, so this is the website. He sends you a 5-day meal program. I don't know. There's a Facebook group for them, and I joined it, and somebody in there told me that they bought it. I said, review it, would you? Let me know. But he talked about let me just read you from the book real quick about the prolonged fasting. It says, practice periodic prolonged fasting. People under age 65 who are neither frail nor malnourished and are free of major diseases should undergo 2 periods of 5 days a year in which they consume relatively high calorie fasting mimicking diet. And so I guess for him, the fasting mimicking diet is the prolonged fasting. He says in chapter 6, I discussed the remarkable effects of the 5-day cycles. Now, I haven't gotten to chapter 6 yet. So I'll have to review it when I get there. No, actually, wait a minute. This is chapter 7, isn't it? Okay, yeah, I okay. So anyway, what you want to do is he's written about the 5 pillars of how he studied it and the different studies that he looked at and how the results of what the results of the studies are, so you can see what his rationale is based on with this diet to help you live a longer, healthier life. Um, the fasting mimicking is not actually a full like water fast or anything like that. It's very low calories during that period of time. But when you're off the fasting mimicking diet, he's saying, you can have these other, try to, from his studies, he's saying try to stay away from meats and count your protein. And it tells you how to figure out the protein. You just multiply your weight by the amount. And actually, it's on this other website that's in the link below. So I don't know if this is the same thing. I'm going to go look at it real quick. Okay, so this is an article. It does mention Dr. Longo, which was written in 2017. I guess I should grab this link and try to put it in the thing. I'm going to need to put it in a notepad, though, if we're going to look at this. So this fasting diet could fight disease and slow aging. Now, the reason they're saying could is because the evidence points toward it. The studies are showing that it does, but, people don't live in a complete vacuum. It's not just diet. There's other things that are involved. As a matter of fact, he did mention that the gut biome is being looked at, and some other things are being looked at as to how, because some of it's genetic, and there's other factors that could be coming into play. I mean, they're studying people that live beyond 100. They're asking them questions about their diet, and they're doing multiple studies on in the lab on yeast, on mice and other things. And there's just so this alternative is so-called fasting mimicking diet devised by biochemist. Here, let me see if I can make it bigger for you. Walter Longo of the University of Southern California. Most of the month, participants eat as much of whatever they want. Then for 5 consecutive days, they stick to a menu that includes chips, energy bars, soups, consuming about 700 to 1,100 calories a day. Unfortunately, for me, that would not work because I'm petite, and I would have to go below those calories. There's a website, and I believe I put it on another video I made on fasting. But I'm just gonna quick jump over here because if you're short like me, I'm like 5'1". You put in your weight here, you put in your gender, and you put your age in. Now look, this is me. Okay, I'm female and I weigh 110, right? 5'1". And 35. Oh, what is this? Enter a value less than or equal to 1,000. Oh, oh my God, I put the wrong weight in there. All right. See, If I want to lose weight, I have to have 466 calories. 466. So his diet would not work for me. Keep that in mind when you're looking at this. Okay? Also, I got a friend that's doing the MyFitnessPal. She's got the app on her phone. I mean, if you're just looking to lose weight and you're not into trying to live longer and reverse aging, I mean, this FitnessPal app she raves about all the time, tells me to get, but I'm like, I don't want to put my personal information in there. So can you see this? I'm trying to see. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, okay, so we're at this article, and I'm just saying, you know, it's a pretty good book, but it's kind of technical, and it's got a bunch of recipes in the back, and it's I wish I was further along the book, and I read like a couple of chapters, and then I read a couple more, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I said in the other video that I would review what I've read so far, so I'm trying to play catch up now. Dr. Longo. But I mean, it's interesting. He also has a chapter in here which I haven't read yet. It's on cancer and diabetes. Chapter 8 is on diabetes prevention, and I think the next one was on cancer. So Dr. Longo is here. Oh, this is the other thing. This is what the book looks like. So I clicked on the wrong link. This is his link. He's got a Facebook page. He's got 9 questions, blue zones. Here's his webpage. He's got a foundation that he's set up to help cure diseases like cancer and other diseases. And so when you buy his book, the money goes, the proceeds from the book go to the nonprofit to help do more research for this. But I think there's a picture. Here's some videos of him. You could probably go watch them. Maybe I could add these in. I think I added some of them in with one of the fasting ones. But this is a little bit different than the regular like fasting. So this is his professor page. Professor of Gerontology and Biological Sciences. And yeah. Okay, so I think we've pretty much covered a lot of stuff. And I want to thank you for stopping by and watching. And I guess I see a couple of people here, but they're not in the chat box. That's fine. So nobody has any questions. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's a pretty good idea, very scholarly. I do find the reading a little bit technical, a little bit hard. It was first written in Italian and then published in English, but he does work in America. He's a United States citizen. He came over when he was 10, and he lived in the Chicago area a long time. He wanted to be a rock star. And then he realized after 2 years in college studying music that he didn't want to do that. In the beginning of the book, it tells a little bit about his bio if you didn't see the other thing I did on it. But I now realize that there might be a little bit of a little bit. It's not. It's a higher level of reading. Let's put it that way. It's not written for so much a general audience. It's very technical in areas. But if you're a doctoral student in the biological sciences and whatnot, it'll be easy reading. But in the back, the recipes and everything are good too. But again, thank you so much for stopping by, and take care, everybody.